Once again, I have promised them that you are going to be loud and proud and represent Worcester, and if you're not, they're not coming out. I think that Twin Peaks and Dana Ashbrook and James Marshall deserve it, so let's give them a huge round of applause. It's your first time here, we want to make sure you feel welcome. Do you feel the love?
I do. Thank you.
There's love in the room. Like, we want to make sure it's projected at you so that you can project it back and everyone walks away happy, yeah? All right. You're happy? That's a good start. That's always a good start. So this is your first time out. How is Worcester treating you so far?
Great.
Yeah?
Love it.
You guys stopping by their tables?
Yeah, probably every you guys are saying. Yeah, man, it's great.
Is this your first time in the area?
Yeah, I've been to Boston a few times, but first time in this area.
Okay. And
Yeah, my mom was born here, so well, not in Worcester, but nearby, and yeah, I'm familiar with Massachusetts.
very nice. So obviously we're here to talk about Twin Peaks. I wouldn't know what you guys would want to necessarily talk about. Other than that, I think you're all very excited for Twin Peaks, right? Yeah. I have to ask, for each of you, when Twin Peaks kind of came your way all those years ago, what were your initial thoughts when you're kind of going through a bit of script reading, like what's on the page? What are your thoughts when you're kind of stepping up to this little show?
In the very beginning.
In the very beginning.
It was called Northwest Passage at that time. It was just a pilot, and Joanna Ray was cast in it, and that's who I knew. James knew, and so she always saw me for this other show called Amazing Stories that she cast, and I never got on it. And then when she was cast in Twin Peaks, I guess she recommended me to David or some saw my picture or whatever in the stack. And that's how I got the meeting with Mark and David, and Mark Frost and David Lynch. And David Lynch, I only knew of his work at that time. You know, I was 21, I think. I only knew Elephant Man, which I love still. It's one of my favorites. And I just knew it as a kid. I watched it as a kid, and it was in my family. We watched it. My mom turned me into it. So that's what I watched. And then after I got the job, I started watching all this stuff. That was it. And then I met with David and Mark, and then, we went to the network test. He was there too, and it was usually when you go meet the network people, it's like, 5 guys for every part kind of thing. But in this case, it was already done. It was only one person for every part. I didn't know that I got the part already, but we all kind of already had it, because David wasn't in there. So it was like he already signed off on it, and it was just one of us for each other. I remember I read the scene, the first interrogation scene from the pilot, and afterwards I looked up and Mark went. That was it. And I remember we all waited outside. Lara from Boyle she'd already tested and tested for a few things. So she was like the only one with real experience there. So she was telling us all about, you're gonna find out later.
Yeah, it's very much like that. It was like same type of thing where Joanna Ray is the reason why I think I worked on anything at all. She was basically she called my manager at the time, whom she helped me get with actually, because originally I was around 17 when I first met her, and I read, and then she called my manager or called a manager for me. We ended up working together. The funny thing that happened was that I had really bad headshots, and they looked very much like Tiger Beat magazine. And David Lynch wouldn't see me at all, and he was like, they cast everybody with the exception of they already cast Dana. They were casting Lara and Sherilyn Fenn, and that was pretty much it. Everybody was done, and they were looking for the James. And he was saying, no, this picture's terrible. And Joanna kept saying, you gotta see him, blah, blah, blah. And he refused until the very last minute. And then she said, here, screw the picture, you gotta see him. And the only thing that got him in was she said that, look, the guy managing him discovered James Dean. And he went, oh, well, why didn't you say that in the beginning? Just have him in. And so I went in, and he just, same thing as Dana, he was like, you're it. We really didn't have to audition because he goes by pure instinct and intuition, which is obviously really good. And yeah, we just went right for the network. And even though I knew I had it, I was so freaking nervous. It's like, we're like, yeah, we have it. It was like so strange. But yeah, so that was it. It was actually a very, you want to say surreal, I keep saying that. It was just a very, very warm yet big experience because it was just like he just walked up to us. It was just like, you're it, here you go, boom, part of the family, and you instantly sort of, this kismet sort of thing was happening, sort of, and it was really cool.
Did you know his any movies?
Yeah, that's the weird thing is that my sister and I used to watch Eraserhead. We're obsessed with Eraserhead. She used to like laugh at it and think it's a comedy. I'm like, I don't think it's a comedy.
How old were you?
Probably about 14.
You're just staring in abject horror at Eraserhead. You're just staring in abject horror at Eraserhead.
Oh no, I loved it, but I didn't think it was. I laughed sometimes, and she kept saying, "No, this is a comedy," And I'm like, "No, I think it's like it's funny sometimes, but it's like we're supposed to be figuring out really what this all means and shit." And she goes, "No, you're supposed to just laugh." So it's kind of both. Everybody's always trying to figure out what David means, and then also just let it be and laugh at it, So anyway, that was.
Over to Jack's house?
No, you did. You always say that. He still says the same thing. Like a whole married couple. Like,
Everyone's
no, you went.
I remember it was me and him and Laura. I guess it was just me and Laura.
No, it was you and Laura. Yeah. And
Yeah, we went over to Jack's house.
I was there in spirit.
And he showed us Eraserhead at his house. It was pretty fast.
Really cool.
At the time, he was sharing a house with Charlotte Stewart, who played my mom on the show. They were like,
Whom was in Eraserhead.
yeah, it was Mary X. And so,
And the lob lady was the focus puller on the camera on Eraserhead.
Fred Elms was the DP, Catherine. Yeah, man.
Catherine Coulson was the camera.
Crazy. Yeah, so that's how I saw Eraserhead. It was at Jack's house with Charlotte and Mark and James wasn't there. And now I also saw this thing called the Cowboy and the Frenchman, which was a short film that David made, and then it's like Harry Dean Stanton and Jack Nance and Michael Horse and there's a few other people from Twin Peaks. Yeah, man.
And he was laughing, he couldn't stop laughing when he told me that. He's like, "You're not gonna believe what he made us do."
I mean, Michael in the movie, he had a full headdress, full Native American, all like gnarly.
But weren't they in the desert and didn't Harry Dean keep walking up to him and repeating something?
Yeah, there was like all sorts of weird stuff. They were like on a ranch.
Okay.
Because it was, they were
But
expecting.
yet it was some French man.
Well, the thing is the French government paid 4 directors. They paid an Italian, an American, a British, and another Spanish, I think, to make 5-minute shorts about their country and France's relations, or cultural relations. So
David was not a rain guy.
so they gave him the money, and he went and made a 20-minute movie called The Cowboy and the Frenchman. And the French part of it was they were all waiting for this guy, kind of hanging out on the fence posts, and a couple cowboys and Michael Horse and this French guy's out there in like a suit. And he has a suitcase, and he's out in the field like picking stuff up. You don't know what the hell he's doing out there. And you find out later that he's picking up snails. The French guys, they like escargot. So that was his thing. And then he opens up his suitcase, and in the suitcase is like a baguette and French fries and really bizarre French things. And it's really funny. It's high recommend. You can get it somewhere, I'm sure. But it's a trip, man. I highly recommend it. Of course, that's. And then he told the horse on that job, he's like, I think I'm gonna do this TV thing. And the horse is like, bullshit.
But did you laugh at Eraserhead?
I didn't laugh at it, man. I still haven't really. I should probably revisit it. I think I was more horrified by it than anything.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
So first day is stepping on, you have the role and you're still nervous. I'd still be shaking in my boots. What's it like stepping on the set first time and working with David Lynch as a director? What's kind of going through your brain when you're under his guidance and under his tutelage?
For me, it was the opposite. It was like once I got the job, it was the same way. You just relax. We got to the set, and it was just like kind of you absorb it. You sort of just let it relax you, and you become. That's where you get to just become sort of, if you can. You know what I mean? was like, I remember being excited. And I remember like meeting all the guys and stuff, or hanging with everybody for the first time. It was really strange. It was nicer than like family reunions and stuff. It was like we were all just sort of, wow, this is cool. We all became like a unit for so long, which was really fun, really cool. Yeah, it was nervous for you. Really?
I'm nervous right now. You know, it was just all new. I didn't know.
I didn't either.
It was crazy that I got to do what I got to do in that. You know, I remember James. James is very serious, man. James is very serious.
I wish I
very
was.
serious young boy.
I was too serious.
At the start, you know what I mean? He loosened up for sure. But when we first met, man, I was a little scared of James because he was like super serious.
Yeah, no, that's
Because we were supposed to be arch rivals.
well, that's what I was. Yeah, we were playing on that, but privately, I didn't think we were. We were pretty.
It's like I was just scared of you. But then once I got to the park, I was like, I went over to his house, and met his parents, and played basketball.
Then pretty soon he's like literally beating the shit out of me.
He didn't break it. Because
Yeah,
we were playing basketball and he was wearing cowboy boots.
I was wearing like, and they rolled it, and I was like, no more. I
You
remember
had no
that.
crunches. I felt like a tick.
Maybe he was the one playing basketball in cowboy boots.
Well, I know, but I was the one that probably made him. I was like,
No, that's fine. Just wear those. There's definitely a lot of interpretations on what's going on in a lot of the Lynchian works in that universe. So you know, you said your sister thought that Eraserhead was a comedy. You were sitting there with a completely different response, and you didn't necessarily think it was particularly funny either. So there's a lot of fan theories and a lot of that response and the same kind of interpretation and reaction to Twin Peaks sometimes. Were you ever getting those scripts and just kind of going, what the hell is going on? Like, are you reading in far in advance and you kind of have a decent sense of what's going on for the arc, or are you kind of just going story to story in that moment with each, and that your pages versus what you're shooting that day or that week versus like the overarching script?
the like dream sequence stuff and all the really crazy stuff, like black hole stuff, wasn't really in the scripts that I remember. It was like, you know, they might be like, they go into the Red Room and that's it, and you don't even know what that is. So the only reason I knew what the Red Room was because it was on the set. You know, I'd walk around and be like, oh shit, what is this place? And I figured it out. And after, you know, we saw the show, what it was. But, you know, I really didn't, on the original, you know, we got our scripts every, you know, before every episode, like a normal television show. But on the last thing, the third season, it was like a movie. It was like they had this giant script and we had our pages handed to us and that was it. We never saw the script to read. So it was more like a big movie. It was a little bit different of the vibe. You know what I mean? Twin Peaks, the original show, is like a little more like a television series that we had these scripts and we got to see it and got to see what other people were doing for the most part.
And it was so beautifully written. Like, I remember getting scripts and just being like, God, the dialogue is so cool. And it's just so, it seemed to flow natural. And then, yeah, some of the, I get what you're saying though, there was some stuff with like, that was written, that was kind of odd. You'd go through things and like, what's this thing about, you know, whatever it was, the talking bird or the bird that witnessed stuff or whatever it was. And you go, oh, okay, you know, but for the most part, it was so beautifully written. And then I think David not improvised, it's like, I think he already had his notes and his ideas in mind, but I think he'd get there and basically it was like a jam session for him. He would just say, okay, here's here and here, but they didn't know this was what I was going to do right here, and boom, 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 and I'm going to do this. And just really, really neat. And it's exciting to work on.
It was nice to have that freedom to be able to experiment and shit. You know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that Sabrina Sutherland, our producer of the third season, was, you know, they would get to odds that, you know, that David, you know, he wanted that time to be able to do stuff, and sometimes she'd be like, you know, so it was a compromise, there's always compromise in there, but he did get to do a lot of fun stuff on the third season that, you know, get to experiment and do shit like, you know, film school stuff. I mean, Inland Empire was, like, I think him and, like, just the camera, like, some shitty camera. Some, like, not even that cool, like, maybe that's actually, I don't even know.
Do you remember what the initial response to Twin Peaks was when it kind of went on air, and the response that you started getting individually to being part of such a show? We were talking earlier about network TV back in the day, kind of really owning the space, and that was where ratings go, and that's where the eyeballs were. So all those eyes are then suddenly turned on you with this show. Obviously, you probably don't expect this to be the biggest thing in the world for a little while, but then and the reaction to the show, and then the fan love when it first started airing, and how it's going to continue on. Do you recall how you first kind of found out that it was kind of a big deal, other than just a job? Do you remember that first moment where you're like, oh, I'm really a part of something?
Yeah, me, but Mike.
Well, the only thing I can think of is like we shot the pilot in the first 7 episodes before it came on the air. So up to that point, no one knew who we were or what it was at all. But they had a screening at the DGA, the Directors Guild, in LA, and
just when we saw the credits, we just badass.
So beautiful. And it was the first time after I'd done a few movies up to then. And it's the first time after a screening or anything that people came up and were like, "That was great." They loved it, and I was taken aback. I didn't know what I liked it. I just didn't expect people to dig it. And I remember going up to David and being like, "Holy shit, I like this thing." And he said, "Enjoy it, because it's not always this way." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right, you're right." And that was probably the first time I knew it was good. And then you can't predict any of the stuff like people caring about it 30 years later. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I had a kind of pleasant experience with it because my hair has dyed that awful black in it, right? And I have blonde hair, so I didn't get to enjoy anything. When I got off set, I had blonde hair again, or I shaved it, and nobody knew who I was pretty much. I just go out, and plus, whether I just didn't recognize me. Nobody recognized me back then. I'd walk around, and I was like, they were like, Max, I was like, oh, and then somebody would say, he's on Twin Peaks, which one do you play? And I'd have to go through the thing that, you don't look anything like the Wyman on. So I got to kind of ride out sort of he got all that, everybody else was like, oh my God, instantly, yeah. So,
and then that stupid floppy hair where everyone's like, oh, yeah.
And the walk, the walk. So
That hair is perfectly timed for its moment.
Oh, it's awesome.
Don't hate on the hair.
You should be
You
thankful
love
for
the
that hair
hair.
when you look at my hair.
There's a lot of hair. A lot of hair.
And then friends, family, were they watching along and kind of going, wait, what are you working
That
on?
was the best when they called and say, we're not watching that again, and don't ask us to. And the previous thing, my Massachusetts side, which are very conservative and they don't watch weird, they're obsessed and calling all the time and very, they're like, we didn't expect that because my grandparents, were from the old school, they weren't at all Lynchian, but they loved it. It was very weird, very unexpected.
Yeah, I guess friends from high school will call me and I'd be like, hey, you watching the show? And they're like, watching it. They can't go to a fucking party without bringing a log. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm watching it, everybody. So it was cool.
But no idea that 30 years later that you were going to get another call saying, hey, what are you doing? Showtime's doing a thing. Can we talk about how that came about and what those calls were like when you're like, wait, what? Who's another
I
one?
don't even know how it started. It was just literally just a phone call. It wasn't even like a buzz or anything. Literally just like a phone call.
Because it was pretty hush-hush, right? Until it wasn't, and then it was everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all.
Well, I didn't talk to David. There was
I talked to Sabrina and David.
There was a tweet that Mark and him put out on Twitter that said that Gummy Like is coming back to style, and that's the first thing I saw. So I texted Machen actually, because Machen is usually the one that knows everything. She's just, I don't know how, but she knows what's up. So I texted her, I texted Kimmy, and I texted, I don't know who else. Maybe
Not you.
Cheryl Lynn.
I'm not a girl.
Maybe, yeah.
He texted me. And you noticed.
And I was just trying to figure out what the hell, and Machen didn't know anything about it at all. So she immediately went on the hunt for everything, and then it was 2014, I think, and Cheryl Lee and I were going to UK Twin Peaks Festival, and on the way to the airport for her, she was going from LA, I was going from New York, and David called her, and I said, we're doing the show again, and you're going to be in it, and she was like, oh my God, that's great, and I'm going to go see Dana right now in London, can I tell him? And David was like, yeah, tell him, which is shocking, because usually he's just secretive as hell. But he said, yeah, we can tell. So we actually were able to tell the people at the festival that, it was already out there, that it was coming back, but the fact that we were in it was great.
And what was our response?
They were stoked. Oh my God, yeah, people were stoked for sure.
It's never a bad day. It's never a bad day.
Nah, it's great.
And your character arcs kind of coming back to it, were you surprised to find out where you were? Were you kind of Was there anything that you didn't see on screen too? Like, were you given any back work that's like, okay, this is where I've been the last 30 years and what's going on? Like, is there anything we didn't see, and what was like coming back with those arcs? Coming back, stepping in a little bit to the new world, right? Stepping back into the new world. Like, what was that like coming back?
Well, I didn't get anything other than a few words, literally.
Sure.
He was like this, and there, go ahead. So I'm like, okay. But the vibe, and just the vibe I got, which is where he's coming from, the track, and just being that.
If you're not on the right track, you know what I mean?
He'll
He'll tell
tell
you. So he doesn't hesitate. You know, it's his thing. It's like everything. It's every salt shaker, every lampshade. It's him. It's him. Every outfit. Like Kimmy tells a story of like trying to figure out her sweater. It's like she went back to the wardrobe like 5 times, and finally she just snuck out with the sweater that she thought would be right. And then she went and saw David, and he was like, "Yes, finally." So it's just he has it. He has it. And, what's your question again?
I don't even remember. Just about stepping back in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was there anything like that you were given that we weren't shown on screen? Nothing like that.
Even Sabrina will say there isn't a lot of like scenes that got cut. It's like what he shot is out there. It wasn't like he did a lot of takes either. It was like, the Michael Cera scene. I wasn't there, but I've heard from Kimmy that he did 2 takes of it. That was it. 2 takes of that giant speech, and really only 1.5 because David stopped him in the middle because he knew he wouldn't need the angle that they have for the second half of the speech. So,
Wow.
And Michael Cera was probably prepped to do it 1,000 times, but David, he knows what he wants, and if he gets it, he's done. He doesn't linger, which is nice for actors.
So he's relatively economical, even though he also likes to kind of come in and adjust last minute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the economy that does it, or just like he trusts himself. You know what I mean?
That must be nice.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like. So coming back in, you felt pretty solid, and like obviously the fan response was crazy. But were you expecting for it to go again as crazy as it did when it came out again? Like the re-up cycle kind of just one wave.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm just
And here you are,
so
like-
happy. So happy that people still care about it.
Well, it's just really, it's just nice. Yeah, it's just hard to even put words to it because it's just exactly thankful because it's just I got that. I think it's what happens when you come from the heart. I think it's or your own truth or authenticity because that's one thing with David is one thing I've learned from him and I don't know if I could ever do anywhere near half of what he does. It's just he's very himself. I have that too. It's just he trusts himself so much and he is so authentic. And I think when you're coming from that kind of authenticity, even if it seems to other people bizarre, but you're feeling this and this and this, and it just somehow makes it just to the eye and to his feeling, it just does something for him. And he just says, screw all, you go for it, just do this, and it ends up striking something in people, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the whole thing. Even if I had just only done the pilot, I would have been so thankful for the rest of my life because I was already a fan of his, and he truly is brilliant. I mean, he really is, it really is like a whole other thing. You don't get to work with people.
It's super fun too. I mean, you think, oh, Lynch is a serious guy. He's not. He's really funny, and he loves everyone on that set. He knows everyone's name. He doesn't get pissed off unless it's like warranted.
I've never even seen it.
The only time I saw him get mad was in the episode of, I think it was the first or second season. You guys probably know more than me, but when me and Mike are in the woods and Leo's out there and he throws the football and hits the car. Well, my car was a Barracuda, a convertible black Barracuda, badass V8, sweet ride. And showed up to the set that night and they had a black Trans Am for me. David's like, what the fuck? And Mark Greg's like, yeah, we just couldn't find a Barracuda. And David's like, this is Los Angeles. There's no cars here than anywhere. You couldn't get the fucking car. And so they went on for a while. They were pissed. And then they just ended up having to go with it because they had no choice. And I remember, back in those days, like Frank Myers and DPD had like big old cranes up in the sky, cherry pickers with like lights for moonlight coming down, and he was like, nope, no light. Everybody, this whole scene's just gonna be lit with these giant flashlights that we had, and literally that was it. There was no lights. Insane. Never seen anything like it, and it was awesome to be a part of it because he just didn't get it. And it was just like a network television show. lit it with flashlights. It's insane.
And it works.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Had the foresight to know that it would somehow work.
I don't even know if he cared for anyone but him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's just it. It scared him. It probably spooked him or vibed him when you just see flashlights in the woods. It's very like, Jesus, what's going on? Then all of a sudden, if it's lit and it's pretty and everything, and then there's the flashlights, it's like, this ain't the. I want it like, you can't, then there he is, and then he's gone. And then we want to be like, you got your fight or flight up a little bit with it, you know? So he's yourself right away. I wish he just kept going. Yeah.
One of the greatest gifts that time and distance gives us is perspective. So when you look back at the show, what are some of, like, pick one or two, like, favorite moments, like, either that you're in or that you're not in, but overall, like, when you're watching it again, you're just like, this is that moment for me that's really striking.
There's several in the pilot, like, including the Dan and stuff. And mostly, to me, it's like a jeans commercial. There's certain things that go on where I can literally just watch it all day, like with the music and the way it's going, and the way people are like doing stuff and everything. It's a very, very beautifully shot show. The pilot.
I remember seeing the pilot and the first. That scene in the classroom where Lara from Will starts to cry, and there's these girls that are holding her hands, and she's just hysterically crying. She was incredible in that scene. And then James breaking that pencil. That was written in the script, you know what I mean? It's the coolest thing.
But I agree, Lara applying that part, I was shocked when she did that too, and I was like, she's cool. Okay, good. Yeah. Like,
so I was always just blown away by the acting, but I loved like the scene in the woods with Harry and Kimmy and Michael Horst and Cooper and the chalkboard, and they're throwing rocks and thing, and you know, and Kimmy's like, I'm excited, you know, she's just like so pumped, and like Michael couldn't hold the thing because he was a sender, so he had to put those oven mitts on and all that. It's just freaking great. And then Kyle, you know, hit the bottle. He hit it on Leo Johnson, and it was not a cut on there or anything, and he hit the bottle. It's just so, yeah, I mean, that's one of his things. And so I love that scene so much. It just, to me, that's Twin Peaks right there. And then, you know, Harry gets hit by all that silly shit, but I just love it. I love that scene a lot. And the dream sequence, the first one I saw in the second episode, the first season, and that blew me away because I didn't know it was coming, and I was just remember sitting there and after that scene was being wow. I've never seen anything like that before. A little guy dancing and talking backwards and doing some crazy shit. I had no idea that was coming. It wasn't in the script.
Alright. So time to stump the cast up here. I know some of you are going to really have some nerdy, deep questions, and I'm hoping you do, and I'm hoping it goes as crazy as I think it might. So let's get some questions from you guys. Good luck.
Hi. So one of the funny little quirks I've heard about David Lynch is I've heard he sometimes likes to direct through a megaphone, and like sometimes during the scene, like while people are acting, and even shout direction like while people are acting. Did he ever do that with you guys? And more broadly, how would you describe his directing style, maybe in contrast to some other people you've worked with?
Well, he always has that megaphone. He always had it. Always. I mean, he just had it by his chair. Corey would have it, whatever. It was always right next to him. That's not new for directors. I mean, Cecil B. DeMille used to walk around with a big, giant, you know, one of those cheerleading cone things, and he had a guy following him around with a chair, so he could just sit whenever he wanted. And so, you know, David having that, you know, megaphone never bothered me. I remember on the pilot, it was like sort of the end of the time when the directors sort of would be in the room with you. And now they're all in Video Village where they're in front of the monitors and they're watching. But David used to be right on the end of the dolly, under the camera, you know.
Oh, you were with, that's right, you were with the director all the time.
Way different. And then
when we did the kissing scene, David sometimes, I didn't know stop kissing. Do
you guys remember the scene in the pilot when me and Nate should drive in the car and we go to her house, drop her off in the morning? David was literally just out of frame. The finished seat of the front seat. It was like me and Shelley or something like this, and David was right there squished into the front. There's a sound guy in the trunk. And, so he was always right there in the pilot. And then, everyone. But working with him is like no other guy. You're not going to get a lot of those guys. He's like probably one of the top guys around. I've worked with a few other ones. And you would try to trust them in that sort of same way that you would trust David, where you'll do anything, and it doesn't always pan out the same. No, these other guys.
Yeah, no. So it's like you, it's a one-off with David. It's like that's what's so but other directors, no, there's nobody like him. I mean, even Stanley Kubrick copied him, right? Stanley Kubrick copied some of the shots in The Shining, I think, from Eraserhead. Is what I read. Yeah. Like the tracking hallway stuff and all that ominous. Yeah.
I'll take either of those.
Hi. The music in Twin Peaks is really weird. It's got this really weird sound to it, and my son and I have been watching it. And did you guys have any idea that the music was going to sound like it's very interesting. It's very unlike anything that came out at the same time. Just the sound of the music. Did you ever hear any of that on set? Did you ever have an idea what it was going to sound like after?
Did he do that to you in the jail?
Oh yeah, especially in that
The jail thing, it was weird. It was one of my first, it was the pilot, and he came walking up to me and he goes, James, I go, what? And I was like, I thought he was going to give me direction or something. He takes his headphones off and he puts them on my ears and he goes, that's what's going to be playing during this scene, if you want to feel that or think of it. And I go, really? You care about me? I'm like, you care that I'm actually, because most directors be like, this is it, he's really into it, he wants you, that's what was so special about it, he shared the mood, it was just cool, so
It
yeah.
includes you,
Yeah,
it's not like I'm making this movie and you're just my little fucking puppet.
Same way, like most people in life anyway try to be like, you're on this, and you're always like, trying to sort of, everybody's always like this. He's just, equal. Everybody's, craft service gentleman is there because you're a human being. In fact, you might have a better idea than what my writer has, so chat, you know what I mean? He's really, really brilliant, and he might have an ego, but he operates in a very egoless way. It's like that old saying, you can't do something huge with an ego, you know what I mean? So.
That was always like a treat when he would have some it was never like cool music, but it was like he did like some
The drums and stuff. Yeah.
That kind of shit. And so that would put you in the vibe for sure. And it was always in there though. Like he would have a really low level, not all the time, but he would have a low level in there while he's while scenes are shooting.
Yeah, that's what he came up. He go, I don't know, are you listening to this? White goes, oh yeah. And the camera guys, we're all like kind of vibing it so we could. And the music, when the jail thing, when he showed it to me, was just like. So I was like, I couldn't hear any. It was like a hi hat or a drum, That was it. So I was like, okay, cool.
We shot that jail scene. We were up in Snoqualmie, and there was a snowstorm all day. We lived in Bellevue, and we would shoot. And that whole day it snowed. And by the end of the day, the roads were closed to get back down to Bellevue. So we had a crew, 200 people, cast, crew, a lot of people stranded up there. So they put everyone up in rooms. And I shared a room with Carrie Ashbrook. I felt very appropriate. My thought. Did you shoot? I don't know. He ranked higher than me. But yeah, man. So they put us all up there and gave us little packets of Ziploc baggies with a toothbrush. It's fun. I've never had anything like that experience ever where it was like we're trapped. That was fun. Okay, thanks a lot.
Come on. There we go. I know you're out there. Come on, guys.
What sets and locations that you guys worked on in Twin Peaks, which one stands out the most to you, where you had the most fun working in?
Well, for me, it was in the pilot with the kissing scene with Laura from Boyle, because we were literally an entire crew of people up a mountain at 1 in the morning, and it was pouring, So it was to be, literally, they took it's like when you shoot in Hollywood, it's like this thing of in a studio or whatever, or you go on location, and it's just very, it's just very very rote the way they do it usually. And he's actually up a mountain that actually has, it's mud, it's everything sliding down, and it actually has a steep incline. And he just wanted it that way. It was like we're way deep into the woods, way up. And I think they called it Hamburger Hill because in the middle of the night they had to it rained and they had to bring hamburgers up to the crew, and they were all soggy and wet from the rain, and everybody was pissed, miserable, and excited at the same time. It was like this sort of very weird for me. I mean, just kissing Laura from Boyle all night was, I thought, the night went by really quick. But it was like, it was really, for me, that as a setting was really, really cool, because it was so cold, and it was so raining, and it was like everybody was like hunkered down, and literally the Harley that we were shooting on the seat of it, it was literally sliding down the hill while we were shooting the scene and stuff, so they'd have to move the bike back up, or somebody would have to sandbag the bottom of the bike, all this stuff. So it was just funny, but yeah.
You had to like reshoot some of it, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right, at the jail cell.
Right.
We had something screwed up on, I forgot what it was, or he wanted something different in the way, whatever it was, and we had to reshoot part of the scene inside at the jail cell. It was very bizarre. Right outside of the jail cell, there was like the set set up, and it was just literally
Trees.
the bike and they got some twigs and the trees and set it all up so you couldn't see it, and they just turned the lights off, and they, and it was just turned a few lights on, and there it was, the woods again, but it wasn't playing the same way, obviously, but that was a very weird reshoot, yeah.
I remember a lot from Boyle was around that day, and we did the jail scene, and I was doing my barking thing, and afterwards, a lot from Boyle started packing Marlboro Reds and Coca-Cola in her hand, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And just kind of walked by me, I was like, I don't know.
Big fan of both of you guys, even after Twin Peaks. I'm happy to say I followed you guys' work. Dana, I really like the aggression scale. For starters, James, love the movie Down. I think it's such a fun movie.
Silliness.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really fun. But when you knew you were coming back to Twin Peaks, how did you have to go through any special actorly processes to find those characters again after so long? And especially because, especially in Bobby's case, he changed so much. How was that like to sort of make sure you're tapping into those characters, but 30 years later, 25 years later?
I didn't really question much, because it was all kind of there. But the first scene I did was when I walked into the diner and Norma and Ed were there. Then Norma goes off and has a business meeting with the dude from and I go over and have dinner with Ed. And so when I entered the scene, I was it was the first day I'm back, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I'm just slouching around, walking up to the thing, and I remember David came up to me and he was like, I can't believe I'm giving you this direction, but not so weird. And I went, oh, okay, I got it. And that was all I had to say, and that was it for me. So I just kind of found it, and it's all there on the page. It really is. You don't have to.
That is what I remember. It's always that.
And he said it. I hate to give you this direction because this is like classic, but it made sense to me, and it worked out. They wrote good stuff, of course. It was fun.
Hello, first of all, I'd like to just thank you for the work that has captured me, like many nights and just the days of just watching it in the morning. But I was wondering if there was like a general sense of stress during the reveal of Laura Palmer's killer, and if that sort of affected the cast in any way, and disagreements or anything like that. Thank you.
I think by then, for me, the end of the second season, I think for a lot of us, we were kind of just rolling with it because David and Mark weren't around as much, and there were so many changes that we didn't really agree with. Not to be, snotty. I don't think it's snotty because it's just saying it's like, if anybody, Spielberg or anybody with that much of a fingerprint, and you go to try to imitate the fingerprint, it's going to be, pretty hard. So with what they could do, they did great. But David was gone, so I was just like, I kind of lived a little bit as far as, you know what I mean, just being inspired and completely on it and all that. Yeah.
And we had a couple good directors that came in that I vibed with, like people that I super respected, like Caleb Deschanel, who was an amazing cinematographer. So it was just a thrill for me to hang out with him.
Yeah, incredible
He's a very mellow guy. His wife is an actress in the show as well. So, you know, what was the question?
You know, anxiety about. Oh yeah, the anxiety. Yeah, because
The reveal of more.
The anxiety, man. It was like, yeah, there was whenever David was there, the whole show would slow down. And when he would leave and other directors would come in, it would speed up, and it was really crazy. And the second season was kind of a mess like that. But you know,
How about the movie?
the movie was back to the whole thing. So it's great. We were back up to the same hotel. We were at the same place. It was just the best. And there's never any anxiety.
yeah, thank God. You got David's car fixation is very important, man. The cars are as much characters, including the motorcycle. When we picked the motorcycle, it's a total character. And he sat there, the gentleman Arlie Becker, who did the Harley guy, right? And he had the bikes, and he lined up a couple of bikes for David. And I already picked the one I wanted, and he picked mine. David picked the same one, and we looked at each other. He goes, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Which one do you want? I'll let you go first." And I said, "Black cherry one." And he goes, "That's what okay, go." And it just was, it looked like, the color of the bike looked like it should be in rain. You know, it had that really sort of soft, beautiful, you know. So, but yeah, he very important to him, and he always wanted that exact bike. When they had to rebuild the bike for down here, because they didn't get that one, and he made sure they did it to the exact, like down to the last little detail. So, yeah, like the Barracuda, I love that Barracuda too. I was so jealous he got that shot. That was sweet. Yeah.
I just wanted to get an idea. What was it like working with Frank Silva?
Yeah, Frank, that's why I was very pleasantly surprised that he was in it, because he was one of, literally, when you're hanging out on the set, the last guy who ever thought that somebody would go, "Hey, I got a part for you, come here." Because he was this very, like, he always stood almost, my mom's a dancer, and he always, I wanted to say, like, he stood like a dancer. He was very, like, graceful in how he walked, and he was the set decorator, right? He was one of the set, and he was there to set deck and do his stuff, but very professional, and almost never spoke, and was never wanting to get in anybody's way. Then when you talk to him, he's just very humble, soft-spoken, very nice. Definitely the last person you would thought would be playing evil, because he was such a, like, super sweet guy, and just beyond sweet. And then to find out that, I don't know how it exactly, I kind of do, but he was hiding behind, and he got caught, and the whole thing, and then it started. So yeah, that was such a beautiful way of him. But all I remember Frank was just being such a sweet person, and so the exact opposite. So to have him cast as that guy was like
Total crazy.
We have a question?
Yeah. So a lot of times in Twin Peaks, the characters tend to work closely with other certain characters. Was there any other actors or actresses you wished you could have spent more time with on scene or off scene?
Dan and I were talking that we should have had a freaking scene together in the new one. It's like, why didn't we tie it up finally that these guys are like, I'm a security guard, he's a cop, and it's like, well, you know, don't they ever, like, you know, when they pass each other in the
jail.
In the jail, can't they?
Hey, remember when But that's it, you know, it's like, you know, 25 years have passed. So you've probably already done all that. You know, they've probably already been through all of the what happened in high school stuff. You know, by that point it was like, I don't know. I don't speculate on that shit.
Fair enough. Okay, we have time for one more question. No
Uh-oh.
pressure.
Make it good.
Oh man, I was just curious what your opinion of the movie was, because I've seen some interviews with other cast members and they had mixed feelings about it. Do you think the movie worked as well as the TV show, or
The movie?
So he wants to know how your feelings on the film and if it worked as well as the TV show, because some other cast members have
When you say the
expressed
film, you
that
mean
maybe not so much.
Firewall.
movie.
Yeah, I thought the movie was underrated. I think it was overlooked at the time. And about to be better now, but better now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember it to be. I love it.
I do too.
It's cool. There's some cool stuff in there, and we had a lot of fun.
But this is a feeling that this new show is a lot like Firewall. That same sort of vibe, only not. It's like it took off from there.
Right. That's David. I mean, it's like the pilot, the movie, first 7 episodes, and the new season.
Yeah.
That's what you need to see. That's David. And you can watch all my stuff in the second season if you want to, just to check it out.
Don't watch it.
All right, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I want to make sure you know that tonight Dana is going to be at Nick's around 10 p.m. Stop
I'll
by.
be serving drinks.
Get a damn fine cup of coffee. I heard there's cherry pie on the menu. There's the Red Room. I hear it's going to be a blast. So if you're not there, I don't know what you're doing. I'll be there.
We're going to drink till we vomit.
And if that's not a good time, I don't know what is. So I expect to see all you nerds there. I'll be there. And make sure you give everybody a hug. Stop by. Make sure these guys are at their booths all weekend. Make sure you stop by, say hello, get your stuff signed, have conversations. If you were too nervous to ask a question tonight, ask them tomorrow. And enjoy your weekend. Thank you guys so much for being here.